This is something that we may have heard a lot. Now here's the thing, you don't want to act as if, because first off, you acting, bro. That ain't really you. That's how it feels, at least. That's the frame which it's coming from. What you want to do is act as is, which means it's a part of your identity, which means that you will then get a reflection in your life of that way of being, not that way of acting. It's two completely different things. In this video, I'm going to show you why you should stop using the law of attraction in 2020 and what to start doing instead that is way more powerful, that will change your life if you begin to apply it within 30 days or less. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, on this video, I'm going to be showing you something more powerful than the law of attraction. And the reason being is because the old way we look at the law of attraction is, here's where I am, I want to think of something, I want to create it and pull it into my life. And it also has a frame of like, it's almost like this moment's not good enough, so I'm gonna get something else and maybe that'll make it better, rather than getting to the core of who we are. And this is why a lot of people feel like they come up to blocks. They may self-sabotage, they may start to attract something they want and come up with more resistance. It's because of this idea. There's two main parts of this. The first part is understanding the self-image. How do you see yourself? Because subconsciously you will do anything you can to remain consistent to the image you have of who you are. There was a book called Psycho-Cybernetics with that of a surgeon who noticed that unless people, before they went into surgery and after they went into surgery, changed the way they saw themselves, they would remain consistent to whatever that is. With the goals that they would accomplish, that they would set for themselves, with the way they felt about themselves. This works on so many different levels. But if you think and you see yourself and you have an identity that says that I can only make $50,000 a year, no matter if you try to attract something and you're focused on something more, if it's a part of your identity and you believe that you're in a box where you don't deserve more than $50,000 a year, you're taking action, thinking thoughts, and feeling emotions equal to making $50,000 a year, you will find that you stay in that reality. The key to this is becoming aware of that self-image, of the way you see yourself, what is called your identity, and then going towards that and breaking out of that identity. So when I look to my old, I've shared this in many videos, but it's just it's what happened. It's what works. It's what worked for me. Back in 2017, I saw the version of me, I call it reverse engineering the future version of you. The version of you that is in your imagination. Remember, your imagination is a powerful way to connect to this future potential. You imagine this version of you. How do you think? How do you feel? How do you act? And what you do is you simply decide that you are going to take on those traits now. You are going to do what that version of you does every single day, even if it feels uncomfortable. I was working that 9-to-5 job, selling women's shoes 40 hours a week, and I decided I'm going to make a video every single day moving forward, no matter what, until I'm a full-time YouTuber, which meant I was sometimes working 60, 70 hours a week. But guess what eventually happened? My dominant reality, the dominant vibration of my reality became me making YouTube videos. Within 6 months, I completely got rid of that job. I put in my 2 weeks. My last day was the McGregor-Mayweather fight. It was kind of cool. I went in, I worked, I made his commission job, so I was able to make money. And then at 5 o'clock, I left, went and watched the fight at a friend's house, and never had a job since then. But what I had to do was bridge into that new identity. I had to see myself that way, and then I had to act not as if. Acting as if implies that that's not who you are. I acted as is. I was being that version of me. That's why the other part of this process that I highly recommend you look into is understanding your vibration. So it's raise your vibration, and the way you know about your vibration is you can look at the scale of consciousness that I share. I'll have Daniel put it right here, the scale of consciousness. You'll see shame, fear, anger. You see eventually neutrality, learning to observe your thoughts. You'll see willingness, the willpower, personal development, Tony Robbins. And then above that, you'll see reasoning, love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. Now what happens is the more you raise your vibration, the easier and the more flow there will be in your life. The more you will find synchronicity happen. The more you won't have to try so hard to make things happen. So this is why I tell people, well, versus law of attraction, which is like trying to attract something out of there into here and focusing on thoughts. It's focusing on thoughts. But remember, it's not so much that thoughts create reality. It's that there's a deeper level to it. The way it works is there's beliefs, then feelings. We'll have Daniel. Hey, Daniel, put beliefs. Ping. And then we have feelings. Ping. Or is it over here? Ping. And then we have thoughts. Ping. All right. And then after that we have results. Then we have action. Thoughts lead to action. Action. And then we have results. And then the results fuel the belief. Just like that. So beliefs, feeling, thoughts, action, results, belief. So it's beliefs create reality, but who is your belief about who you are? Who is your belief about your identity? How do you see yourself? What is natural for that identity? When I talk about, now I'm getting ready to bridge into a new area of my life. I will eventually be taking some of my energy away from making as many YouTube videos. I will be focusing on my podcast. So if you didn't know, I have a podcast that every Tuesday and Friday a new episode goes off. That's not on YouTube. It's more casual, it's more raw, it's more unfiltered. I'll be bringing people on and interviewing. I've been having the podcast for a while. It's called the Expand Your Awareness 2.0 podcast on iTunes and Spotify. You can check it out in the link description below. But that is where I will be putting more of my attention moving forward, plus live events. So what I do is I look at this future version of me that has podcast sponsors, that is gets a certain amount of downloads per episode, that is able to bring on some really high level cool people that you guys would love to see me interact with and love to see more content come out of and more things that would help you transform your life even more. So what I do is I identify all of this version of me, and then what I do is I then start to be it now. So I'm starting to take my podcast more seriously. I'm starting to realize I want to do live events. So I'm like, what could I do to start these live events? Well, okay, I'm going to have to hire probably another assistant or somebody that can help me do these. And as the stuff happening in the world begins to cool off, I can then start taking more action there. And I can start to wire it in a very powerful way. So the thing that I recommend you do is not focus on the law of attraction, the thoughts, the sky, I want this, I want that, I want this. Here's the thing. What is natural for that identity? Get to your core, get to the beliefs about who you are. Remember? Ping! Daniel's showing it right there. So that's the key, is understanding raising your vibration. Now here's the thing. Here's the scale of consciousness: fear, anger, neutrality, reasoning, love. At the bottom levels, you have this idea of have, do, be. Have at the bottom. At the bottom, you just want to have things. You just want to have just want to attract the love into my life. I just want to have it. And what you want is you then want, you just kind of want things, but you don't necessarily want to do much to get it. This is where I used to be. I used to be like, oh, well, action sounds kind of low vibration. I just kind of want to think about it. I want to think about it. I thought Tony Robbins was going to meet me at Barney's, New York, look at me and go, Aaron, you have this potential. I'm going to put you on my platform and introduce you to millions and trillions and gazillions of people. That's what I thought in my mind. And it never happened. So then one day I was getting frustrated with myself. I was like, why isn't this happening? Just think a better thought. Just think a better thought. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not dissing on anyone that teaches that. All I'm saying is, for me, then I moved into the action of it. So I'm going to be this future identity. I'm going to be it now. I'm going to take action as that version of me. And I started making daily videos. I started to learn marketing. I started to learn SEO and how I get videos in front of people's eyes. I had really tacky thumbnails with bright yellow and stuff. Some people get triggered by it, but hey, people view it and it spreads the message, okay? So the idea behind this though is, what is my vision? The vision is important, the identity is important, and then deciding that's who you are. Now then eventually you're in the middle levels are do. So you've got neutrality, then you've got willingness, willpower, Tony Robbins, take action, Gary V, hustle your face off. Do. Do is very powerful. Some of you may need to hear the do, and then some of you may be in do and need to hear the be. Be is at the top level, being who you naturally are. At the other, when you're trying to become that future identity, it's also assuming that future identity is in the future. So I can't enjoy the present moment right now. Instead, what you realize at a certain point is you're doing things for an end of itself. I'm not making daily videos so that I become more and more well-known. I'm making daily videos because it's who I am and I enjoy it and I love it. It's 5 o'clock in the morning right now and I'm making this video because I love you. I love you. That's why I'm making these daily videos, because I want this information to help you. That's why sometimes I sound the way I express things can be so intense sometimes, but I really just want this information to get out there. So the thing is being, who are you naturally being? Make it natural, raise your vibration, be in the moment, be present, enjoy the process. Not because the process is gonna get you somewhere else out of frame, but so that you can come back and be like, yo, I enjoy this present moment right now. I'm not trying to escape. I'm not trying to attract something over there as if the future moment's gonna be better. I know that this present moment right now is so cool, so beautiful, and I'm being that identity. I'm being this natural part of me. So that's just awareness. So raise your vibe. One of the ways you raise your vibe is by going down below, calibrating your vibration at whatsmyvibration.com. And then what you do is you get a meditation for getting to the next level. Plus, I'll give you step-by-step emails moving forward on how to get to the next level of consciousness. You get your level of consciousness shown to you in the form of an archetype. So if you haven't done that already, go to whatsmyvibration.com or click in the description box below, whatsmyvibration.com. And that will help you understand how to raise your vibe and then make it natural and become that future identity now. And let go of the pain, of the resistance, of the stories you told yourself about why you can't have what you want. Let go of the stories. And as you let go of the stories, guess what happens? You become more magical, things become lighter, you have more fun. Also have fun with this process. When you have more fun, you'll realize that magic happens easier than ever. I'm telling you, it is like magic. If you haven't already as well, subscribe, because I got a lot more cool videos coming. Let me know what you thought of this video. And other than that, as always, I'll see you on the next one. Peace, much love, and namaste.